I just finished Slewfoot and it was a ride. I'm Quinn Moon, I write queer fairy tales, I love reading a bunch of spooky stuff, and Slewfoot was surprisingly really fun. In this book we follow Abatha, who is a new widow that has come over from England to be the wife of a member of a Puritan village named Edward. Edward has a malicious older brother named Wallace, and because Abatha is a very headstrong, outspoken young woman, and in Puritan villages, women don't have the right to breathe. Obviously, we run into a couple problems. Edward and Abatha are not well off. Their brother Wallace is. They are kind of relegated to the outskirts of the town in this farm that they can barely eke an existence out of. At the very beginning of the book, we find out that her goat that they have gone further into debt to acquire has gone missing and has unfortunately fallen to the bottom of a ditch, where we meet Slewfoot, our local friendly demon. Things start unraveling from there as Wallace also faces other financial setbacks and puts Edward's stead up as repayment. Abatha not about to let that go. All of this leads to Edward's untimely end. Abatha is a widow, and because she is really stubborn, she decides to invoke the few rights that a widow has as the speaker for the estate of her late husband, and is determined to work the land on her own. This would normally be absolute lunacy. However, because your local friendly demon has just woken up, courtesy of Abatha's goat, things take a turn. We also find out Abatha is what they call a cunning woman. So she has charms and potions to help, which they do bite her in the behind, but that is at a later time. And so because of her connection and her history, she is able to connect with this demon that is now out prowling her forest. So we follow Abatha as she struggles to make ends meet, as she struggles to survive, as everybody in this miserable village tries to make her life miserable. And eventually they get their comeuppance, because Abatha does not appreciate that they tried to ruin her at every turn and didn't just let her try to survive. I liked the magic. I liked the development of the relationship between Samson and Abatha. I liked Samson as a character. I really appreciated that he didn't wake up like, I am all powerful, fear me. He's like, I was sleeping and I'm really groggy. What are we up to right now? And I like that we don't just get, oh, woe is me, another witch has tried and she is tortured by these self-righteous villagers, and that's the end of that story. I appreciate also that because we took the time to nurture the relationship between Samson and Abatha, the reason that Samson decides to intervene on Abatha's behalf and assist during these ridiculous witch trials makes a lot of sense. And they didn't start off chummy buddies. One of the things that frustrated me most was Abatha trying to do right by the Puritan religious standards, which, you know, I'm not about that. If I got some friendly demon being like, yo, you got a list, like, let's go alphabetically down this bad boy. She did not. She really did try to not hurt anybody. She tried to just survive, and everybody was just not happy with it because she was a woman that had the audacity to try to survive. There are some tragic characters that it's sad that they end up feeling the way that they do. So we don't get a very clean happily ever after. There's the betrayal, there's complex feelings. Even the forest sprites, these creepy guys, they're complex. They have their own agendas, they have their own wishes and desires, and they don't exactly align for the greater purpose. They aren't one-dimensional. They don't appreciate making their spirit suffer. They don't want to be the source of heartache, but they see no other choice. This was a really fun, witchy tale. I did get bogged down by so much religion, just so much. Just, you know, their sermons were apparently like 3 to 4 hours. I felt I was there for 3 to 4 hours some of these days just because of the self-righteous indignation. And I have an issue with that on a personal level. So just hearing so much about it and it being such a main driving force of the story was a little taxing. Did it need to happen? Yes. Did I want it to happen? No. But I liked it. Also, this wasn't siloed. This wasn't some like backwoods village. We see the corruption that extends beyond the village to higher political offices. And we see that no, you can't just go mess around with everybody's person, with everybody's wife and claim they're a witch just because you don't like them. There are real consequences that people fear. Now, unfortunately, they mess with the wrong girl. That's like, I see that you hurt me and what I love. You're going to pay for it. I'm going to enjoy every moment of it. As do I. I also liked that the magic, when it finally happens, isn't like spooky thunder and smoke and fire. It's very nature-based. You get assaulted by a bunch of bugs, which is awful if you really think about it. That's like a horrible way to go. I had a lot of fun with this book, way more fun than I thought. The audiobook I thought was really well done. This was surprising, and even if the book is a little awkwardly shaped, I actually kind of want to buy this. I will be reading the author's other works. Is it the most exceptional writing I've ever read? No, not at all. But it's a good, fun story. I really like it if you get past the whole righteous indignation, which is part of the plot. But oh my god, that was like the hardest part for me to read. Super fun book. I really enjoyed it. And I would love to hear about it. My friend also read it. She really liked it. So we're actually going to have like a little mini book club discussion just because I want to talk to someone about it. I want to talk about Samson. I want to talk about Abatha. I want to talk about the forest sprites and Mamunapet. I have so many questions about that guy. I want to talk about the people that were trying to stand by Abatha. Their unfortunate ends because their superstitions said that Abatha was bad, even though she wasn't. That Samson was bad because everything's black and white to these people, sort of like their outfits. So I have a lot of thoughts that I just need to get out, and thankfully she enjoyed it and it's up for it. Let me know what you thought of this book. Let me know if you've read other books by Brom, because I know he has like 4 or something like that. I think the next one I want to grab is Krampus. So if you've read it, let me know what you thought and if it's worth picking up, or any other authors that you think I should pick up based on the fact that I did like Slewfoot. I want to know more books that give the same vibes. Can't wait for the discussion. Bye!